Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Yes, so I have been a little busy and I've been working on the Minmus base. Still just so much stuff to do on this base. I kind of got certain parts I have in mind, and the one major thing that I think I told you guys about, I think at least last episode, or at least I've been complaining about a little bit, is the Weldit mod is not all there. It doesn't really like to work the right way. With certain things, it has been causing problems, and the main problem is that when you build your parts, some of them work and some of them don't really work the right way, and no matter what you do to it, no matter how much you keep changing it and changing designs and fiddling around with things, it just never gets there, and it's just been kind of the main issue, at least for right now. Certain parts that I've been trying to make are the connectors. I really don't know what to call them, but for those of you who are new, you have no idea what I'm talking about. For those of you who have been around for a while, you kind of get an idea on the connector parts. They're just long structural pieces. I kind of almost vision them to be, you know, like connection tubes from one point to the other, where the Kerbals can, you know, at least in my mind, they can travel from one module to the other. Now, the main problem with those parts is a few different things. Number one, they do use up a lot of parts, and the one thing I'm trying to do is actually try to make this a somewhat functionable structure to where it actually can be used. As far as how much it will actually be able to be used, and I don't mean to say that like it will be non-functioning, it's just I don't want to get the part count too high. And 300 parts is kind of gonna be, I think, the limit, if not maybe 400. I really don't know exactly how big this build is going to go, and you know, it's like each part is separate, and you know, with this Weldit mod, it has helped with certain things, like this whole piece here, all this stuff you see is about 40 parts. There is a new mod I installed, not the KW rocketry that you guys were talking about, but it is, that one, I still gotta look at it. I really haven't, I went as far as going to the plugin page and all that stuff and just kinda reading a little bit, but I didn't actually, you know, take the initiative in installing it or anything like that, and I hope we make it to space, my god. No, I ended up installing the futuristic engines mod. And now I'm not actually going to be using a lot of these engines or any of the real parts on any of the structure. I downloaded that one for a few things. It has a few really funky parts that I haven't actually seen before. Obviously, that's why you would install a mod in the first place. But one of the things I was looking for is a very nice looking solar panel, and I actually have the solar panels from that mod on this main structural piece here. Now, we won't be connecting this to the base this episode, but I will go as far as setting it up and kind of showing you guys certain stuff that this mod added. Now, as far as the total of everything else that mod has, you're talking helium-powered engines, or not helium, what is that? Hydrogen-powered engines, argon-powered engines, and I believe xenon, like bigger xenon engines. I'm not sure on that one, so please do not quote me or anything like that, because I you know, sometimes after installing all these freaking mods, I really lose track on what parts go to what, even though I do have that mod manager and all that other good stuff. But you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. But the helium, it has like helium power. Wow, I don't know why I'm stuck on helium right now. Oh my god, and I'm just screwing up the takeoff, and this is just not going well. Nose up, nose up, nose up, nose up. We are not wanting to go that way. There we go. That should be alright. We should still gain a little bit of altitude. Yeah, that's... I'm not really looking to get the best orbit right now, but whatever. I'll throttle down. Perfect. So yeah, no, this mod, it has capacitors as well as the new engines and the new fuel types, which I really won't be implementing, and you'll see stored fuel charge, which is basically capacitors. It allows you to have capacitors which store... You can have a really big capacitor that stores tons of energy, and basically I get, you know, as far as a capacitor is concerned, I mean, you would just use it. It's kind of like a battery backup, and if you end up running out of power on your main batteries, you can use the capacitor to kind of refill those batteries real quickly. So you can kind of store massive amounts of energy in a relatively small place. So let's see. Everything's looking pretty good. I mean, I'm not paying too much attention to the orbit here, but I think we're going to be alright. Oh, I do not want to speed up. Now, this thing gets a little wonky when I speed up. You know, I always have problems with this last stage here. I've never really tried converting it over to an orange tank, but every time I have, it always makes the rocket so unstable that it falls apart. So I usually just kind of stick with this as that stage. So what else? Oh yeah, back to the Weld It mod. I mean, it really is a very helpful tool, and anybody who is looking to like actually play any kind of a modded series, I'd recommend using that. There is a joint structure mod as well, and I'm a little hesitant on using it, but basically the joint structure mod will actually reinforce the connections between parts, so you don't get any of that wonkiness between parts. And I was considering using that, but I'm not sure. I don't want it to screw, you know, it's like you end up building around mods, and then once you build around mods and then adding new ones, you're not sure if that's going to screw up something or if everything's just going to be hunky-dory. So, you know, there are plenty of... I make a lot of backups and saves to these things before I add mods. So, you know, just in case something gets really unbelievably screwed up. But, you know, for now, I mean, we've been pretty good. I had a little mishap with some mods earlier, and all I'm gonna say is that I hope everything on the Minmus base hasn't changed, because I'm not gonna be a happy cookie. Let's see. Alright. Whoa. Bringing over. Yeah, that's fine. The nav ball mod as well. Somebody recommended the nav ball mod. I did check that one out as well, and I think I'm going to start using it. I'm not sure when, but the cool thing is I'm not sure if we're talking about the same navball mod or what have you, but this one actually kind of got like squad's approval, and they were actually kind of happy that somebody made something like this, because it was the exact kind of thing that they wanted to add to the game at one point, and they just never got around to it. And I think I missed my burn by a little bit, but I think we'll be alright. Get this down. So the one thing I'm going to be doing too, and I've kind of decided, I think I'm going to do some work on changing my video thumbnail and stuff like that to kind of really better separate out the modded series and the career series and the sandbox series, even though I've kind of abandoned them, at least for now. I don't mean to say that in a bad way, because I will be doing more career mode episodes, or not the career mode, but the sandbox episodes very soon. I just kind of have been focused on this base a little too much. Unhealthy obsession, as normal. Even my girlfriend is just like angry with me right now, and just... I play too much Kerbal. Oh, I lost you to the Kerbals. That's what she said. Oh, I lost you to the Kerbals. That's basically all she says. Come on. But no, I should not even say anything bad about my girlfriend, because she's like completely supportive of all the stuff I've been doing and very helpful with basically everything. So I don't know why I've been having so much trouble getting the min-miss lately. I don't know why. I think I'm just putting a little bit too much juice in it. There we go. Is that... I really don't know. Oh, yep, that's perfect. That's more than perfect. Let's just see if I can change the outcome of this a little bit. Oh, man. That's perfectly fine. So, anyways, guys, I will see you once we are on our descent to Minmus. Alright, it looks like we're on our main descent right now. Everything's looking pretty good. I haven't really had very many complaints. Now, I did do a little bit of moving around of stuff. I did send the rover that kind of sort of works, but kind of sort of doesn't work on its first mission, I guess, if you want to call it that. I mean, it's not really a rover, but manned rover, whatever. Yeah, I sent it on its first mission, and, you know, everything's looking pretty good. I mean, basically, the only thing I'm really having them do is just kind of clear out the rest of this canyon, so that, or, well, this lake bed, or whatever you want to call it, just to see where the ending, I mean, I'm kind of figuring that most of these in here, except for, you know, these very outside ones, basically have Kethane, but it really doesn't, I don't think it changes the overall deposit if you actually find more of them. I'm not really 100% certain on anything with these mods. I mean, I do, trust me, I do a lot of research on how they work and kind of what they're all about, but certain things, like, it's just kind of, I don't know. But, you know, one thing I will say, too, is, you know, if you guys have a mod that you want me to use other than MechJeb, which I think I've stated before that I don't want to use, please let me know. I do read them, and I do know that there are a few of you who keep suggesting the exact same mod, and I do check those mods out. It just takes some time, because there are certain mods that I do want to use, and then other mods I'm not overly concerned about even having, at least for right now. So that's basically where I'm gonna kind of leave that. Not that I don't want to use your mod, I am just kind of curious as to whether or not I should add it. Certain things, the one thing I'm really looking for right now, I should mention at least, is a mod. Please check the description below before you suggest a mod, so you don't suggest something that I'm already in fact using. A mod that adds structural pieces that look like the Kerbal pieces. I would really appreciate if there was some kind of mod out there that added more structural parts to the game, because I can't really seem to find very much. A lot of the mod packs that I've found have had a lot of really cool structural pieces, but they really are, you know, kind of a mod of their own as far as what the structural pieces look like and what they're initially designed for. Now, the one major test I want to see too is I want to see if we can see this strobe light as we get closer. I'm not really sure if we're going to be able to see it 100%. I do know that there is kind of a limit and a range on it, but I mean, technically we should be able to see it, at least for right now. But yeah, so anyways, with the mods, please let me know if you guys know anything of structural pieces that are Kerbal-like pieces. I don't really know what it's called, but I mean, there is kind of like a term used. I mean, squad-like pieces or what have you, kind of like the KSPX pack, where it has all these parts to the game, and pretty much all the parts actually look like something that would be in the game. Oh, I see the strobe light now. Otherwise, I'm just seeing, like, the actual... I think that's the strobe. Yeah, I see it now. That's definitely... So you can see it from about 1,000 feet or so away, or 1,000 meters, I should say, not feet. That is actually pretty good. I'm very much okay with that. I was expecting it to do a lot better, but I mean, hey, 1,000 meters away, that's still actually fairly good. I mean, I don't know the exact unit conversion into feet. I know every foot is like, or every meter is like 2.6 or 2.8 feet or something like that. I can't remember anymore. I used to know all this stuff, and I forget. This is the beauty of being American, is not knowing anything about metric units, because, you know, the rest of the world actually uses them. So, let's see. This looks pretty good. I'm gonna put it into a little bit of a hover here real quick while I situate myself. Let's see. Alright. Just throttle up this engine and just check everything to make sure everything's right. Alright, that's not a very good hover, but I'm not complaining. Let's get rid of this. Now, I pray these engines actually work. Yes, they do. Not that they actually do what they're intended to do, but, yeah, like most of you guys have known, if you've been a part of this channel for a long time, I generally have problems with this landing stage of mine that I've constructed. Oh, that sounded beautiful. Let's see. We are not very level right now. I'm waiting for this to come back. There we go. What is... Oh, okay, that is the crane. I'm like, what is that thing with the solar panels on it? I don't remember putting solar panels on the surface. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. This is not going to go well. Oh, God. Oh, God. No RCS. Engine, throttle up. Throttle up. Throttle up. Throttle up. Throttle up. I don't care if we're flying away. I don't want to crash this beautiful specimen of solar panel. Oh, God. Oh, God. Now we're getting into this. Oh, that is not good. So, yeah. Oh, man. I hate when this happens. Oh, just bring this over. Alright, we're getting very, very close now. Alright. As long as we can bring it down is what I'm concerned with. Oh, jeez. Oh, I keep shifting the camera angle and it's getting me sick. As long as we can keep the prograde up, that's all I'm concerned with. At least for right now. Oh, God. There we go. There we go. Just take off a little bit. Just so we can line the sucker up. And I think we'll be alright. As long as it doesn't rock back in any kind of way. We don't need to be insanely close to the base because we do have the ability to actually move our parts around. So I'm not that concerned with lining up. I just don't want this thing to be landing with some kind of crazy angle or anything like that. That just won't be good. So this is looking really good actually right in here. I'm just gonna not even mess with it. That way everything can just fall together real nicely. Happy little mistakes. Happy little mistakes. Recovering a landing is something that definitely, if you panic, that basically, from what I've learned this game, once you start panicking is when all the bad stuff starts happening. If you just kind of relax about it and you kind of just take it in stride, usually you'll turn out alright. And you just don't freak out. I mean, I didn't even quick save on this mission, so that just gives you an idea. So, speed up. There we go. Perfect. I don't even think we damaged any of the legs. Let's just see. This leg should... Yep, everything's good. Now, here's the one last... Actually, no, I don't even think I need to do that. Well, I could. Why not? This will be the last procedure. Getting rid of this upper portion. So, what we do here is this really tricky maneuver. You go like this. See you later. Please don't come back down on top of us. Now, that should just disappear after a while. I mean, I don't really see where it is anymore. I don't see it. It's gone. So yeah, so let's see our solar panels. The one thing I added... Oh yeah, okay, so I'm just making sure all the quick keys work. Now I'm just going to explain a little bit on these solar panels and the capacitors and stuff like that I was talking about. And I don't know why that these things get locked up sometimes as well. I don't really understand exactly why they get locked up. It doesn't make any sense, to be perfectly honest, but whatever. Let's see, if I just retract it... Oh, see, look, now I move one of them and they all just go right back to the way they need to go. Yeah, so these solar panels, the reason why I chose them is that you can obviously see with the energy flow on these solar panels, they are very friggin' awesome and efficient. And, like, the one thing I kind of aimed for is I was going to have a really big solar array, but the problem is that with a really big solar array, you can put a lot of solar panels on it, and you really don't... as far as the parts are concerned, having, like, 25 solar arrays on here would have bumped the part list up even higher than what it already is at. Then if you look at basically the capacitors here, like if you look, I only have like 12 solar panels as well. I think I should have mentioned that. Whereas if I would have had the just regular Kerbal Space Program stock solar panels, I think that is like basically about I could have probably put about 25 of them, 26 of them on here, which it's excessive for no reason. And I found a really, really good mod with really nice looking solar panels. At least I think these look somewhat stock-like if they were to have something like this in the game. So these capacitors as well, this mod is actually really cool. But what these capacitors will do is you have discharge, and your recharge. So I could discharge this right now, which it's dumping, but my battery power is completely full right now, so it really doesn't matter. It's not changing anything. So all I have to do is enable the recharge on this, and that is all I have to worry about, and it will recharge all on its own. It has its own like flow rate, everything as far as how much power it lets in. But yeah, so I'm going to end up getting the crane over here to pick this thing up, but I'm not going to be connecting it to the base. Once I land my connector pieces down in my next episode, that is when I will add the solar panel portion to the base, as well as, setting up all the connection pieces and all that stuff. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you like what you see here, subscribe. There's always more to come. To all you new people, welcome. And yeah, I will see you next time.